How to get a better night's sleep using the law of attraction. Are you having a hard time falling or staying asleep at night? If so, using the law of attraction can help you immensely. Beware of sneaky stimulants. While most of us are aware of the caffeine products we should avoid before going to sleep, quite often we overlook some of the less obvious items that can affect our sleep without even realizing it. For instance, there is the obvious coffee or soda, but did you know that chocolate, cake, ice cream and certain cookies have enough sugar in them to affect your sleep as well? There are even some fruits that have enough natural sugar in them that can also keep you awake. If you are having a harder time falling asleep than usual, review what you have been eating before going to bed lately. If you have been on an ice cream or cookie kick for the last few weeks before bed and have been having trouble sleeping for the same amount of time, there could be your simple connection. Avoid drinking alcohol, so you are going through a particularly rough time and might enjoy a few drinks when you come home at night. But then you don't sleep very well. So the next day you are even crankier and enjoy another few drinks when you get home to try to make yourself feel better. But then you don't sleep very well again. It seems like a vicious circle, but the truth is, it could be the alcohol itself that is causing your sleep deprivation. It has been discovered that while alcohol might help you fall asleep initially, it appears to disrupt the second half of your sleep cycle. So you will wake during the night with all sorts of weird dreams, or you toss and turn and have a hard time getting back to sleep again. Think about trying a different soothing ritual before bedtime if it is that calming effect you seek. Switch to a decaffeinated herbal tea and a couple of sugar-free cookies. When you consume them before bed, think of that as your way of unwinding at the end of a hectic day. You will see an amazing difference in not only your quantity but quality of sleep. Watch when you exercise. You have probably heard this before, but exercising even a couple of hours before bedtime can sometimes affect your falling asleep. Your blood is pumping, the energy is flowing. Is it any wonder your body might have a hard time slowing itself down? You should even beware of certain kinds of yoga. While some practices are great for winding down, some might have the opposite effect. Okay, now that we have gotten some of the possible physical causes out of the way, let's work on the mental. Do not label yourself as having any kind of sleeping problem. You would be amazed at how what could be just a temporary problem could last a lot longer by how you think or label it. Do not think or say things like, I just can't sleep, I have insomnia, I suffer from insomnia, I constantly wake up, I never get enough sleep, I am always tired, etc. By putting these kinds of thoughts and statements out there, you are just attracting more of it. Do not give the situation more attention or worry than it deserves. It is simply temporary. Do not make it a fact by bringing more attention to the problem. Not falling asleep because you are worried about not falling asleep. We have all been there. You only have a few hours to sleep, and when you can't fall asleep you become worried about how much time you have left to sleep, and on it goes. Don't think you are going to be tired just because you didn't get the required 8 hours of sleep. While it is true that the average person usually requires 7 to 8 hours of sleep at night, it is by no means true for everyone. For instance, Donald Trump only sleeps 4 hours a night, and that is more than enough for him. Another fact to consider is that you don't need to have a full 8 hours of sleep every night. The trick is to not mentally brainwash yourself into thinking that you are going to have to be tired the next day simply because you didn't get your full 8 hours. Your body changes every day. So does your energy levels. Some days you may need more sleep, some days you might need less. It's like when you are hungry. Some days you can be hungry all day long, some days you barely think about food. Just go with the flow. Don't psyche yourself out mentally by thinking, oh, I only got 3 hours of sleep last night, so it means I'll be dragging my tail all day. Who says? Don't give it any thought and just focus on doing your thing. Calming the panic thoughts. One of the trickier problems to deal with. You either can't fall asleep because a problem is on your mind, or you wake up in the middle of the night in a panic when a thought occurs to you. The first question to ask yourself is, there anything you can do about it at that exact moment? Usually there isn't much you can do about any problem at 3 o'clock in the morning. If this is the case, tell yourself you will find a way to deal with it tomorrow, or better yet, hand it over to the universe to handle. Say to yourself, while I am doing my job of getting some sleep, universe is doing its job of finding me an easy solution to this problem. I can't wait till tomorrow to see what it comes up with. You will be surprised how often a solution will present itself the next day. Just leave yourself open to the possibility. Find at least one good thought to soothe yourself with in the middle of the night and focus on that thought when panic tries to set in. The law of attraction is all about taking control over your thoughts. The more you practice it, the better you get. You really do have control over what you think about. So if a panic thought tries to let itself in at the middle of the night, counteract it. Think about even one good thing you experienced the day before or plan on experiencing. Did you stick to your diet that day, get a compliment from your boss, get a call from that person you have a crush on? Did you meditate, take your vitamins, do you have something coming up that you are looking forward to? When a panic thought tries to worm its way in, deliberately and consciously replace it with a better thought even if it is totally unrelated. It might seem difficult at first, but you really will get better at it with practice. If your thoughts keep trying to drift to the problem, keep bringing your thoughts back to the good thought. Again and again until it sticks. Become bigger than the problem. You are currently on a spiritual quest. Every day you are growing spiritually and every day you are gaining more control over your reality. Do not let yourself forget this. As you lay there in bed at night, imagine that you are holding the earth as a little globe in your hand and now sense your immenseness in comparison to it. This is how big you really are. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, which means there is truly nothing on this planet that you cannot handle. In reality, you are so much bigger than all of it. Truly feel your immenseness in relation to the problem and realize that in reality, that problem is nothing more than a speck of dust you can simply blow away. This is a great mental exercise. Do the muscle relaxation exercise. This is an awesome exercise you may have learned in gym class. It is simple, but can be very effective in getting yourself to sleep or back to sleep. Start by lying flat on your back. Tense your feet as tightly as you can to a count of 8, then gently release the muscles also to a count of 8. Then feel as if your feet have simply disappeared into oblivion. Next, do your calves. Tense, tense, tense as you count to 8, release, release, release as you count to 8 until you feel them completely disappear. Then move up to your thighs, your butt, your stomach, your chest, arms, hands, etc. Do this for your entire body. By the time you are done, you will feel as if you are floating or as if your body has completely disappeared. Now the only thing you will sense is your deep breathing. This exercise can work wonders for both your body and your mind. You will find it even works really well if you've had a nightmare, so give it a try. Use affirmations or read something uplifting before even putting your head on the pillow. You can experience far more spiritual growth in your sleep than you ever can during your waking hours. For years I have purposely said affirmations or read particular spiritual concepts that I have wanted to absorb subconsciously and have found how much easier the ideas stick when I absorb them right before bedtime. So not only can this help distract you from your normal worries, but it in fact also expedites your spiritual growth.